stream this to your audience, log in, or sign up for free, right?
I'll have to end it now. Don't worry about it. We're live.
We're live. There we are.
This
is always the way with these things.
I know. Okay, so today I am joined by Denise O Leary, who has come up with a tool to help people complete award entries with speed and accuracy. So it's called Winner AI. Denise has written a book called Winner: How to Win Awards. And she's won hundreds of awards herself with her marketing company, Purpol Marketing. So talk people through what Winner AI is and how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for inviting me, Debbie. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, when I wrote Winner AI, which the book actually had its birthday yesterday, it was 6-year-old yesterday. My initial intention was very much to allow people to have the knowledge of how to enter awards. And it wasn't written to give you a little bit of a snippet and then leave you floundering. It explained it all for you. And it's been proven to be very successful. I've had some lovely testimonials from people saying how much difference it's made for them. And winning awards, as you often tell people, is so amazing for their businesses. But the difficulty with a book is you've got to read it. And this is the bit that many people miss in buying a book. Sadly, just purchasing it and putting it on your bookshelf is never quite enough. You've got to apply that knowledge. So when the world of AI came around, I thought there must be a way of transferring this knowledge. And like many people have taken content and then made it into online courses, it's that whole process of how do you make that content more digestible for people? Now, there's no reason at all that people can't try and write their award entries in any model of AI that they choose. The models are getting smarter all of the time. The content's getting better. The processes are getting better. However, what people miss often is what criteria they should be looking for in the first place. So this is the point of Winner AI. It's building upon what I said in the book about which information you need, how do you collate it, but also importantly, signposting you to almost rules and processes within that. So if it's asking you in advance, getting yourself ready for what content you need, you're going to be in so much of a better position to be able to put that content forward.
So you need to have a paid account with ChatGPT.
Yes, so as it stands at the moment, I'm actually evolving the tool and I'm hoping to make it multi-large language model and actually it have residual memory, because many people be aware that large language models at the moment, it is a conversation that goes on at one point in time and it won't remember your content. So as it stands at the moment, Winner AI works on ChatGPT. And you need the Plus membership, which is about $20 a month. Now, I personally would recommend that level of membership to everybody anyway, because that is how you can control your security. If you're on the free plan, basically all of the input that you put in there can be used for training the model, which I don't really want, and I'm sure many other people don't want either. So this way you keep it, private to the conversation that you're having. So it's got the security built in there as well. But yes, you do need the Plus membership to be able to get access to what they call custom GPTs. And at the point that you've joined, you can just join for a month. You're not committed any longer than that, but that's the level of membership you need.
So if people just wanted to sign up to use Winner AI for their award entry just for the month, they could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason at all not to have ChatGPT as the Plus membership just for 1 month and cancel it. Obviously, we recommend people put diary entries in to remind themselves to do it. Otherwise, it does take it on a monthly fee, but there's no reason at all that you can't join and unjoin again for that.
So what information do people almost need to have sitting in front of them to be able to use the Winner AI tool?
Yeah, it's very interesting you mentioned that, because we actually have a prompt right at the beginning. So I'm not going to share the screen, but I'll just go on to it so it reminds people. So basically, when you join, when you've paid, when it's all linked through, and I've sent you the link, I've actually built a Best SME Awards edition, which I'm just finessing. So if anybody wants something that's absolutely bespoke to these awards, it will save you some time and it will be better functionality. But the general Winner AI would absolutely work perfectly. But when you actually go onto the screen and you see it, the first thing that we do is click here, welcome to say hello. And the stage naught for the Best SME Award says entry readiness checklist. And it says, before you start, can you confirm you've got access to this, or you can get it quickly? Your legal business name, trading address, number of employees, years trading, your job title, the Stripe purchase email, because that links with the yes, you've bought it and it proves you got the access, your website and social media links, a 50-word business summary, some information on what your business or how your career started, what makes your business stand out, a one-sentence hook, your financials, and all awards ask this. And I would put a caveat to this. If someone says they don't want to reveal their financial data, save yourself the pain of entering an award. It really isn't worth it. People do need to know that as a benchmark. And likewise, they like to know testimonials, any press coverage and case studies, and then anything you've got about challenges you've overcome, your leadership approach, and any community benefits that you've delivered, any sustainability, social impact, and all things like that. So at the very start of the process, what we actually do is, here's the list. Have you got the information? And also, have you read the rules of the awards you want to enter? So in this Best SME Awards, we actually say, have you read them? Are you sure you're applicable? And I know, Debbie, you welcome anybody contacting you if they're not quite sure, they don't know which category to do. They're saying, well, actually, I've only been trading 3 weeks. Shall I enter? And all those kind of questions, you're more than happy
That's
to
a no,
answer.
by the way.
Indeed. Yeah.
3 weeks, no.
We admire ambition, we do, but realism has to play as well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so it does all of that, and then what's the next step?
So what happens, you're then asked step by step the questions. So what the initial list is, get yourself ready before you start playing. And then once you know you've got your information, including your social media links, any past award entries that you've done, then that's really useful. So what it will then do is ask you question by question, put in this information, and you can add as much or as little detail as you like. If you really want to put more in, it's going to have more to work with. But at the end of the day, it's talking you through all of those unique stages. So once you say your confirmation, and I'm just typing it in now, so dual confirmation, yes. Okay, what's your full name? So it asks you that then as your first question. And then you work through all of that process, and it literally asks you question by question. For Winner AI in general terms, it will then ask you, after you've been through putting your own data in, including any prior award entries, your socials, your testimonials, etc., etc. It'll say, which awards do you want to enter? And it'll ask you to upload its website. And then it will ask you what category you want. So depending on how much it knows about that website and how easy it can find it, then it will actually drill into the detail. For the Best SME Awards edition, we've actually uploaded all of the categories and what you need to do in each category. So it will talk you through all of that as well. So it is designed to be easy. It won't take the place of you knowing your business. You have to offer ethics are the central tenet as well. It's a true representation of you and your business. What have you achieved? What are you doing? But what it does do, it cuts through a lot of the imposter syndrome where you might feel, oh, I don't want to say this, or you'd forgotten what to mention. And it can look for data that you've put into other awards. And also it's got rules within it to say, actually, if you've been asked for X number of words, you want to be, nearing that limit of the word limit. But like every other AI model at the current time, we say, make sure as soon as it generates something, you copy it out and put it into Word or another way of saving the data. Because at the current time, if you had this chat within the model and did this entry today and paid for it and all wrapped up and ready to go, and then you think, right, I want to do another category for that awards, I'll pay again to get another entry because it's charged by entry method. And then you go back in tomorrow, it won't know who you are. That is a flaw that's within the systems or a process, depends how you view it. But the model that I'm actually building that hopefully available later in the year will actually enable you to have a login and will then store your prior entries as well. So you can build on that process.
So you've used this already with some other awards. What was the
That's right.
success from that?
Yes, well, it is fairly new, and as is usual with all of us doing work for a living, you do the other things around everything that you do, so that's the way of it. I used a version of the tool for the Stevie Awards for Women in Business. I used it for my own entries and for a charity and for a publishing company, and we actually did 35 entries in total, which I think probably took 10% of the time that all of those entries would have took.
Wow.
And we actually won 29 awards, so that was an 83% win rate. So that was for an international business award that was judged by an international worldwide panel, and the award accreditations were bronze, silver and gold, and we actually ended up with 7 golds out of those entries as well, which were ultimate winners. And I was delighted to win a Grand Stevie, and we were the second most placed organisation, and that was an amazing achievement, majorly because IBM were third, and Purpol Marketing actually beat them outright on points. But our points total, including all those we'd written for other people, put us in second position. And whilst I love awards and I wrote a book on the subject, my main premise is to help other businesses win. And that's what I do as my living ordinarily, doing bid writing. So we are not a awards writing agency as such. This is a tool to help normal people win awards.
Because we're not, this AI tool is not making up information. It's just if you struggle to sit and write and you struggle to think, this will save you a lot of time.
Absolutely. I mean, AIs do supplement content people put forward, of course, but we've built in as many checks and measures, and this is why we say to people, is this a true representation of your business? Like if you asked it, I'm going for an interview, please tell me what 6 responses I should give to this question. It doesn't know you. It will say to you what 6 responses would be good. But if you give it what you do for a living and what your career's been, it's going to be so much more accurate. It will give a better version of you. So yes, if you struggle to get the words, if you struggle with time, if you're not sure what content should be put in, the very act of going through the process breaks it all down for you.
So that's good. And is there anything else you want to share about it that we haven't covered?
Well, I think it's the recognition that this is the way things are going. And much like how job interviews now are being scored by AI, I've got no doubt that judging panels will start to use AI in part of their assessing criteria in the future. I think many people do struggle to promote their own businesses. Whilst they know in great detail about their business, what they struggle with is the language to present the business. And actually, if you've done award entries in the past and you write one today, you might have forgot 3 of the very key stats that had been the standout of a prior entry. So at least having that ability to put in old data, get it to check it. I mean, many awards actually have timeframes. So you will ask, what have you done in the last 3 years, for example? And that's because they're judging you on what your recent achievements are, unless it's a lifetime achievement award, in which case, obviously, the time is a longer span. But it's that whole process of making sure it pulls that data, and it just makes it so much easier for you. But nothing is the absolute silver bullet. If you work with award agencies, of which there are many good ones, they will want to interview you, they will extract your information, and then they will have another meeting with you and reflect what they knew of you. So, that is the same sort of process. AI is extracting your information and using the data, but the tool is very specific because it's got my book behind the scenes. It's got analysis of many different winning awards that are publicly available data. It's got keywords which are key for certain award categories. So this is the value of it. It's not the universe of AI where it's got any amount of information it can pull on. This is very specific and proven.
Yeah, and I think it just sometimes people don't get shortlisted or don't win simply because they've missed information out, which is critical. It's not that they're a bad business or a bad business person. It's just that they haven't really sold themselves to the judges.
Absolutely, and mostly they're busy. That they've just yeah, just haven't got to it.
Yeah, I was doing a talk at another event this morning about business awards, and one of the things I was saying is, don't use generic statements.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing the Winner AI tool will only be as good as the information you put in it, and you need to read it before you submit your entry.
Oh, we recommend that for any given thing that you write of any sort. Yes, you definitely need to. And there's absolutely nothing to stop you taking that content, finessing it, getting it better. I mean, within the tool, it's actually got quite a lot of business psychology behind the scenes. It asks you about what tone you want to write your entry in. So do you want to be inspirational, professional, friendly? You can have combinations of it. So all of that is asked through the process. You can actually update a document and say, I want you to follow my tone of voice, and here's something I've written in the past. This is how smart they're getting. So there is no prize for relating an entry that talks about your business in a way that isn't you. You do want to express what your business is, and judges will know exactly what that is. But it is a huge time-saving and valuable tool. And say, certainly from my own experience, when you are even experienced in doing award entry writing, it takes time to do them well. And if you can have an admin assistant that's doing a large proportion of it, then it's providing that time back to you, and it gives you that chance. And for all our best will in the world, we are all juggling too many things. We decide we're going to enter an award at relatively last minute, and then this can be a tool that actually helps you get a good result in that time frame.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us today. We'll make sure we put the link to Winner AI in the comments from our live today.
Lovely.
Most people watch this afterwards, never watch it live.
Of course, yeah.
Afterwards. And we'll put a link to your book as well. Might as well.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, I have it on my agenda that I'm going to put out a new edition this year. So I'll write a new chapter about Winner AI, and also some more insights from actual people who run awards and from judges. So the landscape is shifting. Of course, it always does. But it's that recognition that actually there are many awards. Some are far better than others, and choose carefully. However, when you've made those choices, it's an excellent way to make your business stand out.
Yeah, thank you for joining me today. So if you've been watching the live, we've talked about using AI, and this specific AI tool is for awards, for writing an award entry. So if you feel like you maybe don't have the time to enter the Best SME Awards, which closes on the 22nd of January, you do still have time, because you can use that tool to help you. Any questions about the awards, do get in touch with us. And
absolutely.
Thank you. See you at the awards night.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.